Scoremeter or linear speedometer shows the KPI value in relation to a predetermined threshold. The marker or the indicator moves along a horizontal scale according to the KPI value. So if we change the KPI here, the marker moves. The score meter can be made in Excel in few quick steps. Let's see how to do it. It can be done in 3 steps. First is to prepare the data. Next, we create the scale, and then we add the indicator. This cell will hold the KPI value, which will move the marker. These cells will be used to create the color scale in the backdrop. This cell will control the width of the marker. And this cell will control the position of the marker, which will be determined by the KPI value. Since the center of the marker should be at the KPI value, the starting position will be determined by the KPI value and half of the width of the pointer. Once we have the data, we will create the scale. By plotting these points, we will insert a stacked bar chart like this and switch rows and columns. We can change the color of the segments as we want. Here I'm going with a monochromatic palette. Next, we will add the starting position of the pointer. For that, we'll copy the cell and we'll paste it on the bar. This is a newly added point. Now we have to ensure that this point is plotted on the secondary axis. For that, we select the point, right click and select the secondary axis, and we make the gap width as 0 and we make the fill as no fill. After that, we'll add the marker. For that, we'll copy the cell and we'll paste it on top of the bar. Now we'll ensure that this data point also is plotted on the secondary axis. We select it, right click it. So it is on the secondary axis. Next, we have to make sure that both the axes start from 0 and end on 100%. So we'll format the axis, choose the minimum as 0 and maximum as 1, which corresponds to 100%. We do the same thing for the bottom axis. Now we can remove the top axis. We can also remove other chart elements. Now we have to convert this marker, which looks like a bar, into an arrow. For that, we insert an arrow shape from here. We can either keep it transparent or we can fill any color. Next, I'll copy this arrow and paste it on top of the marker. And our score meter is ready. Let's see by changing the KPI value if it is dynamic or not. So our marker moves according to the KPI value. This is how we create a linear speedometer or score meter in Excel.